In this video, we describe the differences between the three LMS systems when giving feedback on assignments.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about feedback. There's lots of different places like the quizzes. I'm just focusing on a document that kids upload just for time's sake. And also just wanted to kind of show you in each of the platforms how you would know that a kid had submitted the assignment is where I'm going to start. So we're here in Brightspace, and you can see that there's these little pieces, 2 assignment submissions, 5 unread discussions, 2 ungraded quizzes. So you can see right on your home page, your dashboard, when you enter into Brightspace, all of the pieces that you need to do. Let me actually go to the dashboard. With our dashboard for Canvas, you have a similar thing, but it gives you actually more information. So 1 grade essay without Google's assign, so that's 1 to grade, 1 quiz that I need to grade, and then it also shows the assignments that are coming up. And similarly, in Schoology, you can see there's 1 ungraded assignment. If I click on it, it then shows me the details of what I have that's still left to grade. So you can, and then if you click on these pieces, you can get into what it is that you need to grade. So that's one place where you can see what you need to grade. So let's just start out with Brightspace. So this one pulls me into my assignments list, and you'll see here, up here, that it tells me what new submissions I have, how many kids have completed it, how many kids have been evaluated, so that's me writing up the feedback, and then how many kids have actually seen the feedback. So only 4 of them have feedback that's published. So you might go through and do all of your feedback first, and then publish it at the same time. If I then click on this, I can go into my submission. And if I click on this, it's going to download my file. So this is the particular file. You'll see up here it says user 1 of 1. There's more kids in this class than that. It's just in this format that it's showing me. It's only showing me the kids that I have not graded the submissions yet. If I had 2 or 3 kids, I would be able to toggle between those kids that I haven't graded yet. Again, we're in Brightspace right now. Brightspace has a very extensive annotating piece. So I can draw, freeform, text highlighter, eraser. Let me just pull out my pen, maybe. So if I wanted to do some drawing, I could, circle this. I can change the color. I can do a bunch of different inking, change the size of it. If I wanted to stick in a comment, I could write a note and type on it. I can put in text. You can see there's all of these various things that I can do. I can move them around. So this is sticking a note with it. So if I was like, oh, I want to show this particular thing, I can type in my note, and then I can always get back to it. I can click out of it and then get back into that particular note. It's got these lines, arrows. You can put in a text box. It has a bunch of different editing with that. So it's very, very user-friendly in terms of being able to annotate. And then you can always download the original, or you can download the annotation. So if you want to save that somewhere in a file, you can download those specific annotations or print it up. Within here, I have the sample rubric that I created. And if I had my assignment was being graded off of the rubric, I can just go through and click okay, they hit the title, their first paragraph wasn't so great, this one was really good, I can add some specific feedback in, and I apologize to my English teachers out there. This was my best way of trying to do something fast. Concluding paragraph was really good, and now it gives me a total score that's 9 out of 10, and it's graded that for me. It's put that overall grade in there. I don't need to do it again. I can write a general comment. I can record audio, I can record video. If there was some file that I felt like they needed to see based off of what had just happened, I could upload that. So all of that is there and ready to go. Right, so whatever I'm saying, if I go to record video, it's going to ask me to allow, and then I can hit new recording, it's gonna start recording. I stop recording. Hit new recording, it's gonna start. Add it in there, and I can give it a title, description if I want. You can change, with Brightspace, you can add captions automatically if you want. And then this is now attaching this feedback. And then I can either save the draft, right? So back to this, like if I don't want to have it actually go out to the kids yet, I can either save the draft or publish it. So I'll go ahead and publish that, and then I could retract it if I didn't want to, update it, whatever. So basic annotation feedback in Brightspace. In Canvas, again, I have that similar piece where, okay, I've got this essay that I need to grade, so I can pull up the essay. It looks very similar. You can make it full screen if you want. You can add these little bubbles that are gonna pull out a place to leave a comment. You can highlight, oh, I liked what you did there, write a comment about it. You can strike through, or you can take and highlight an entire section, make a comment about it. And of course, you can also do your inking if you want. I think the inking was working for me earlier. Oh no, that's highlight. Sorry, it's because I'm typing the wrong thing. There's my inking. And then if I want, I can delete any of these pieces will show up. As I click on them, you can delete them. And you can always add a comment to that piece. And so then when I go to do this, you'll see this is the submitted files. I can again view the rubric similar. This one is a little bit harder to see, but it shows the whole rubric. So I can pull this out and say, okay, that's pretty good. I wanted to say mac and cheese is good. Right, whatever I need to say, this looked good, this was maybe not quite meeting expectations. I can add my comment, overall good. And then again, I can add video feedback. I can either upload a video that's already been created or record a video for them here. And I can do the mic, oh, that's just saying the mic or the webcam. I'm not sure if I can only do video with this particular thing. The other one gave you the option to video and audio. And again, I submit. I could reassign the assignment if I didn't like what they had, if there was like issues with how they had made it. I could stick it out to them again. So I could say, hey, you need to redo this essay so it wasn't good, so the kids would be notified that it had been reassigned to them. And then I can submit it. Schoology. Schoology, again, I can get to that piece. You can see here it's going to give you a list of all the submissions. And if I look at this student 3 needs grading, this one is the, in terms of the annotations, I felt like it was the most limiting. So like if I go to say I want to cut that out, I feel like I should be able to type in here, but I have not figured out a way to do it. I can delete it, but I can't type in there. The other two, if you struck out something, you could then go in and put comments in there instead of just saying that it's teacher 4 and what date they made it. So the only way you can really put any comments in is to specifically do the comments. What do you see, hon?
Oh, like back on that. Over on the right, you add a comment, over the far right sidebar.
That's overall comment, so that's not going to be specific to the comment that I just added. You can again draw, if if you want, right? But you can't, none of these pieces, and it says that I drew that at 10:40 today, but I can't actually put in a comment. I can add my overall comments, right? I can, again, do the audio or audio and video if I want. And then my rubric shows up here. Again, I can do my totals. It'll total it up and add it for me. If I want to put in any specific comments, I can click and add a comment for that particular one. So all of them are very similar with the rubrics that you've added, with being able to do that calculation for you. But I would say Schoology definitely falls behind in the annotation section. Yeah.
One of the things I know Canvas says as far as rubric is you can add a rubric into a public domain for like the entire school. So
Yeah.
if you're the Spanish department and you want to add in one rubric for, oral responses, then everybody can use it. Does Brightspace also
I
give you
think that they do. I think that that's kind of strongly encouraged.
Yeah.
You had played around with pulling
Things
in
can be preloaded from the
competencies.
admin accounts to make them accessible to everyone. I think it's true across all three because it's based on that kind of public school idea of preloading all the standards in.
Yeah.
If we decide we want to have the sandboxes, will we be able to like access the sites that you made that already have rubrics in them and already work, or will we have to?
The sandboxes will have, so some of those sites that you've seen are the sandbox, like the company created them and they'll be there. We will also make a student account available to you so you can toggle between those and see what that looks like. You can see here if I wanted to switch between different kids, so I also have an essay from student 4. There I can quickly get to it. With Canvas, you can see I can, and I will move this back out so I can see a little bit more. With Canvas, I can just toggle through, and when I'm toggling through, it's going to tell me which kids haven't actually submitted yet. If I click here, I can see these kids I've done and published their data. This one I think maybe I haven't published it yet, or I haven't submitted it yet. And then these kids that are grayed out don't have anything, so you can toggle between those. And again, in the space that I am right now, I can only look at, in Brightspace, I can only look at the kids that still need to put it in, or maybe have a particular submission. Any questions on those pieces? Yeah?
Are you going to show us what it looks like with Google assignments? Or maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, no, I'll show you what it looks like with Google Assignments. Yeah.
How do we manage handwritten work? The kids can submit with a picture, right?
Yep.
And can you get feedback?
Yeah, so if a kid had submitted with a picture, I'm pretty sure you could do all of the stuff that I've just been now doing. It'll show up as a file. These were Google Docs that were then downloaded as Word docs and then uploaded, but I'm pretty sure that we can double, I don't know if you've double checked on that, but I can't imagine that it wouldn't let you do all that with a picture.
Can you put that question into there?
Yeah, we'll make sure if you can post it. So then if I go back to assignments, now here is the piece that I've found frustrating with Google Assignments. So I created this essay using Google Assignments. It does not, this is Brightspace right now, it does not show up in my assignments list because it's not considered an assignment. I have to go to my content and remember where I put it. There it is. So it's one of these external links that's added on, and this is where I was saying Brightspace, I feel like hit the low bar of how it dealt with this. But I can now click on it, and what it does is it pulls up this just bar within Google Assignments, right? It's like basically just pulling up another website that is the Google Assignments page that now tells me who has submitted things and who hasn't. And so if I now click on this particular student, I can edit it, but I cannot edit it with inking, right? Like you're editing a Google Doc. You're not editing a PDF or something that's been pulled in. So that's what you would have to weigh if you were thinking about Google assignments versus just having a kid submit a file. If I'm gonna do a Google assignment, I get the beauty of the shared document and all of those pieces, but I now am not gonna be able to use the inking tool and have it integrated within my LMS as well. There's also this piece that, if I remember correctly, I think you have to go back and hand enter in Brightspace. So if I put a grade here, I can have a rubric in here, but now I have to kind of go back in Brightspace and enter in the score itself in there. Yeah.
Brightspace is the only one of the three that doesn't integrate well.
So Brightspace is the worst integration. Let me show you Canvas. So within Canvas, it will show up, so let me go to my course. Within Canvas, it will show up under my assignments. So it still shows up under my assignments. Here's my essay with Google assignments. And I can see here this, again, the test students that put in their assignments. If they had not opened it, it would tell me that. If I try to go into SpeedGrader, which is the one where I can quickly go through each of the students, this student does not have a submission, does not have a submission. I know that there's been a submission, but I can't preview it. I have to do it within Google Assignments. But I can put in a score here, and I believe, if I remember correctly, that it links up to the gradebook with Canvas. Now, in Brightspace, Schoology, thank you. If I go to my materials, I think, essay with Google Assignments. Now, within Brightspace has actually created an integration, and Schoology has actually created an integration. Brightspace, when we talked to them the other day, talked about it being something that they were working on for the future. But you can see in here, this looks totally different, right? I've created an integration with Google Assignments, and so I can see what's in progress. This kid hasn't opened it at all, hasn't opened it. This kid has opened it, and I can actually see the paper right there. So in theory, if all of your kids were working on it, you could be jumping in between them, seeing exactly what they've done. And then those are the kids that are in progress. These are the kids that actually submitted it. So they put them in two different places. And again, you can do your editing that you can do there. Even though it integrates well, it's still a Google Doc. You can't do the inking. You can't use all of the annotations that are in Schoology. Yes. Questions on the Google assignment piece?
So can I just say one thing?
Yeah,
So,
please, Camille.
I know this is a big topic. None of them is super great at how they're handling it in terms of being able to give feedback and everything. But I know you guys also, I'm sure you're aware of different workarounds for dealing with the Google documents, like download links and copying links. So just keep that in mind in thinking about these and trying to weigh your thoughts about how they handle Google against all the other features that each of the three brings to the table. Because this one is just not so great.
Yeah. And I think, again, I think the annotation tools are great, right? So if you're like, ooh, it's more important for me to be able to annotate and write on their document and not have to leave and go to open it up in a PDF that I can write on. It's all in here if you're not using Google Assignments. Yeah.
The integration I've seen with at least Canvas, if you have the kids attach the Google Doc, like the link, then most of the stuff works really, really well. It's the integration with like Google Classroom that becomes the little bit tricky piece. But if you're just having kids upload as an assignment the actual Google Doc, commenting, all of that stuff usually works pretty well.
And that's what I was earlier when I was writing on it, those were Google Docs that I had uploaded from, you know, and all of them, you can get to your Google Drive and upload a file from your Google Drive. And so the program, the LMS, is basically taking that and downloading it. It's no longer a Google Doc once you're writing on it.
So, can you allow on all of these a whole bunch of different like submission formats of like some kid want to upload a PDF and some other kid uploads a Google Doc, and so
Yep.
they all upload it, and like from my perspective, annotating them and giving the feedback, that all looks the same.
Yep. If it's not a Google assignment.
Right. It's not Google. Okay.
So you were saying earlier, I saw a tab says in progress. So if it's in Google assignment, do you actually can see an assignment half done in progress?
Yes. So
Before the student submitted.
before the student submitted. So with Google Assignments, with all three, you are going to have a folder within your Google Drive that you could go to and click on each of those documents, and you'd be able to see their work. Because it's essentially a Google Doc that has been shared with you. However, Schoology is the only one that within the LMS gives you this in progress piece.